Hey, I'm George Kamel, Ramsey personality and financial expert. Listen, the fact that you're watching this tells me that you probably already know the importance of life insurance. But even if you're nodding in agreement, you still might have questions like, how much life insurance do I actually need? What does life insurance cover? And what kind of life insurance should I get? Now, we're going to get to those, but before we do, let's get crystal clear on the purpose of life insurance. Life insurance has one job: to replace your income if you die. You don't want your family worrying about financial issues while they're already going through such an incredibly hard time. And look, let me call out the insurance elephant in the room here. I know this isn't fun to talk about, but research shows there's a 100% chance none of us get out of this thing alive. So you'll be glad you took care of the tough part now, protecting your family for a worst-case scenario. So how much coverage do you actually need? Let's figure out your magic number. And don't sell yourself short. You're worth way more than you think. So to walk you through this, let's pretend we have a friend named Alex. Alex is a teacher in his 30s who makes $40,000 a year before taxes. He's got a wife named Sarah and 2 adorable kids. Now, we always recommend getting 10 to 12 times your income in term life coverage. We'll get to that reason in a minute. But for now, buckle up, Buttercup. We're doing some first grade math. So Alex makes $40K a year, so he needs at least a $400,000 policy because 10 times his income is $400,000. You tracking with me? Good. Now, Alex's wife, Sarah, is a stay-at-home mom, which is another word for a low-key superhero. She's a coach, a counselor, a chef, a chauffeur, a banker, a playground medic, a pet wrangler, just to name a few. And just because there's no paycheck involved doesn't mean that she doesn't need life insurance. Think about this. If something happened to Sarah and Alex needed to go out and hire someone to do all those jobs, add up what it would cost and you'll see exactly why stay-at-home parents need their own policy. Alex would have to pay at least $25,000 to $40,000 a year to cover things like childcare, education, and household duties. So if we're looking at a policy that's 10 times more, Sarah would buy a policy worth anywhere from $250,000 to $400,000. Having coverage worth 10 to 12 times their annual income gives their children a secure future until they're all grown up and gracefully kicked out of the nest. Having a policy that size isn't just about covering normal bills like food, utilities, housing, and transportation. It's also things like birthday parties, dance lessons, prom clothes, and sports gear. So much sports gear. All right, this next part might sound weird, but just go with me on this. Have you ever thought about what you'd want at your funeral? Hawaiian themed? Pets welcome? Maybe a live performance of The Circle of Life from Lion King? Now that would actually be kind of epic. But seriously, even without any of the accoutrements or fireworks, the basics can add up. The average cost of a funeral these days is over $7,000. People who don't have enough in the bank will sometimes use life insurance to pay for their funeral. But here's a better way to pay for it. Set aside $50 a month, invest it somewhere like a good mutual fund, and that money could grow into more than enough to cover your funeral expenses. Maybe enough to cover apps and desserts so that no one has to eat your Aunt Donna's nasty congealed Jell-O salad. Oh, just threw up in my mouth a little. All right, moving on. Let's talk about what kind of life insurance to get. The only type of life insurance we recommend is term life insurance. Term life policies last for a set number of years, or a term. Makes sense. Now, the cost of life insurance is determined by your age, health, and lifestyle. So going back to Alex, he's in good shape and wants a 20-year term life policy that will pay out $400,000 to his wife if he dies. That might cost him around $18 a month, way less than what he spends on grande, no-whip, half-calf white chocolate mochas every month. So we've learned a lot about Alex and Sarah today, but guess what? This isn't about them. This is about you. And you need a level term life policy worth 10 to 12 times your annual income for 15 to 20 years. If anyone depends on your income, you need life insurance today. Like yesterday, really. So get this done as soon as possible. I recommend talking to our friends at Zander Insurance, which is a Ramsey trusted provider. They've been helping people find the best term life plan for decades, and it's the same company I use to cover my family. Don't let another day go by without being protected. Get this done as soon as this video is over, which is coincidentally right now. See ya.